Welcome to my channel Hindu Bhakta. Today, let us look at what is the purpose of Vedanta for Hindus. Vedanta was developed with the intention of providing a foundation for theistic living by convincing people that God is real. What exactly is Vedanta? It is generally agreed that Vedanta, which does not fall within any of the four paramparic margas, it's the most important school of thought in Hinduism. There is Bhakti Marga, Jnana Marga, Karma Marga, and Raja Marga. So Vedanta is, apart from that, is unique. It's all about self-realization and understanding the knowledge of God. The philosophy of Vedanta may readily be incorporated into all four of them without any difficulty. A guru is not worthy of entitled as Acharya if he didn't learn the Vedanta Darshana, which translates to Guru has not mastered the Vedanta scriptures. This is a phrase that has been attributed to a number of ancient Vedantins, and it also demonstrates that a teacher is required to be a master of Vedanta in order for them to be able to call themselves Acharyas, such as Adi Shankaracharya, Ramanujacharya, Madhvacharya, and Nimbakacharya. What is exactly the point of studying Vedanta? As I said before, people need to be converted to theism, since in ancient times there were a number of atheistic theories that were swaying people's opinions against gods and the Vedas. But Vedanta was initially developed to explain the theory of how God came into existence, how human beings were born, or in simpler terms, metaphysics. There are several monastic philosophies and non-monastic philosophies in Vedanta which show diversity in this darshan. Vedanta was initially developed to explain the theory of God, how it came into existence, and Vedanta focuses mostly on the three schools of thought known as Advaita. The Advaita philosophy is said to have been established by Lord Dakshinamurti, and it was further developed by a number of acharyas such as Adi Shankaracharya and Ramana Maharishi and Swami Vivekananda, in addition to a large number of other saints who are not in this list. Real knowledge, as referred to in Vedanta, is understood to be Sat, the truth, or the truth is unchanging. The truth is unchanging and all of the time. If it weren't the case, it wouldn't be the truth. Therefore, we see in the light of eternal truth what is celebrated in the present scientific worldview as malleable knowledge that will evolve as more information becomes available is in reality nothing more than ignorance. Vedanta provides a definition for both knowledge and ignorance in terms of the relationship to the passage of time, which sheds even more light on the distinction between the two. The Bhagavad Gita, Krishna quotes those who really have seen the truth and declares that the only thing that can be said to really exist is anything that is unchanging and everlasting. Everything else is an illusion due to the fact that everything is fleeting, hence it does not exist when seen from the viewpoint of eternity. He makes a direct connection between the actual and the illusionary aspects of this to the ego and the body. Therefore, in order to acquire true knowledge, one must study that which is unchanging. It is not possible to have true knowledge if all you know is fleeting information. The philosophical treatise on Vedic knowledge, known as Vedanta Sutra, were written by the author of the Vedas himself, Srila Vyasadeva. However, the world that we experience as humans does not consist of only physical and chemical processes. We have no direct experience of the way in which atoms and molecules build the foundation of our worldview. The interactions that take place on the micro level are not detectable by the human eye in any other way. Human reality, on the other hand, is composed of our perception of the world. And the perception of the world is composed of our mental processes in the form of thinking, feeling, willingness, together with intelligent discrimination. A science like the modern empirical one, which does not enable the human to understand the subtle psychic process of nature as they take place in the mind, is therefore insufficient to give us a complete picture of the world. This is because humans are not able to comprehend the subtle psychic process of nature. The question is how? How can we learn about this eternal truth? What aspect of our experience should we focus our attention on, since it will never change? Naturally, this is the awareness that resides inside, also known as the self or the observer. It is important to emphasize that under the empiricist theory of knowledge, the subject of research is restricted to just one of those things that are not part of the self, namely matter. However, the matter is always going through transformations. Our bodies are always going through transitions from childhood to adulthood to old age and eventual death. In this regard, Vedanta stands head and shoulders above all the other epistemologies. Instead of focusing its pupil on the ever-changing world outside, Vedanta directs that student's attention inward to the one constant or everlasting subject matter that is within its grasp, the student's own self. The only consistent element in anyone's sense of reality is the individual's personal I feeling, which may be thought of as the awareness that resides inside. Changes occur in everything else as well, including the body, mind, your wife, your children, the house, your pets, society, and the rest of the world. If the knowledge that is gained by the student focuses solely on the two mutable aspects of nature, namely matter and the science to study matter, then it ignores the most important aspect of reality, which is consciousness, or the observing faculty of existence. If this is the case, then the student's knowledge is incomplete. It's unfortunate, but none of today's education institutions have even a single department that is capable of even willing to investigate consciousness from a scientific perspective. The whole body of information that is disseminated in today's society is speculative and relative, and as a result, it adheres to the mold of ignorance. It is possible that when I am sitting in front of a computer and typing or reading this text, nevertheless, due to the fact that this is not a constant truth, for example, will not be true in 10, 20 or 100 years from now, it is possible to say that this is a genuine fact. The facts that are really will never change. If something is real, it is true right now. It will be true tomorrow, and it will be true the day after and forever after that. If something that was thought to be true turns out to be false, when more knowledge becomes available, this indicates that it will never be true in the first place. Furthermore, information will not make it true today. Therefore, having knowledge of fleeting matter does not fall under the same rubric as having knowledge of the eternal self. The first concept is relative, whereas the second is absolute. As a result, we can observe how the concepts of knowledge and ignorance are dealt with in Vedanta in accordance with their connection to the passage of time. The nature of matter, as well as our understanding of it, is subject to the change throughout the course of time. Yet awareness is not contingent on the passage of time. Therefore, the only original item that should be considered worthy of study is the everlasting self that is within your seat of consciousness. The only way for us to genuinely experience this timeless, everlasting existence is to first connect with our very own selves and to link those cells of the superconsciousness self that is known as God. That's the supreme soul, basically. Otherwise, if we continue to be separated from ourselves and are just immersed in the ever-changing impulses of our bodies and minds, we will continue to be victims of time, which simply means that we will perish very soon. Sometimes in the books, a character may bravely announce, "I survived," or "You saved my life." However, these assertions are dishonest and deceptive, since no one survives the events that take place in the novels. Everyone will eventually perish, but having an understanding of one's inner true self may enable us to transcend time and become re-established in our true identities as the immortal servants of the Supreme Being. Time is the only thing that can kill us. So, the understanding of the self can be achieved through deep contemplation and meditation, japa yoga, and various type of practices, where you just focus your mind and allow your attention to observe itself. Once the observed becomes the observed, then you become the true self. So, with those words, I conclude this video. And if you have any doubts, kindly do leave your comments in the comment section. I'll be more than happy to reply. And if you want any more videos like this, please do leave in the comment section, and I will look into it and I'll make any videos of any subjects related to Hinduism and Vedas and Vedanta. Thank you very much. Until next time, this is Brahmanishi Krish.